Hello, welcome back. And today here on the channel we're going to be talking about ways to make your own mixed fizzy cocktails and not have to purchase the canned cocktails in the store. Again, I did the first part of this video was talking about these two and another one that I had and that I tried recently. These are decent. They're worth having, especially if you want something quick. The Fresca had 1.3 carbs per can. The carbless had 0 carbs per can. The other one, the Cocoa Rum and Cocoa Vodka, which I still have sitting out here, these are about 12 grams per carb. So they're not made to be non-sugar, but they all do have 5% of alcohol in there, in each can. Those are, again, taste decent. If you're looking for the low carb version, the Fresca and that carbless is good. I also talked about the Mtn Dew Zero pre-canned cocktails, but I'm cheap. I like to do it with my own alcohol, my own amount that I want to have. I think it can make a better tasting cocktail. It also can be, you can put whatever flavors you want in it. You can tailor it to your tastes. And there's a couple of things that I tend to do that I really like. I'm going to start out with one. I think I may have already done this on another video, but Mtn Dew Zero. If you take, I usually take, I've got a 32 ounce container that I will use when I do this. Put like 4 to 5 ounces of coconut rum. Coconut rum is full of sugar. I make my own. I think I did that in another video. I use just a plain white rum and put that in add some coconut flavoring to it and some Splenda or allulose, one of the two, and it makes a very good tasting coconut rum. Better than MalaDew in my opinion. Better than any of the other ones that have massive amounts of sugar in it. So it still tastes sweet because it's got that Splenda or allulose in it, but it's definitely for the low carb content. So what I do, I typically put the 4 to 5 ounces of this and a full bottle into a larger container. But it's about a 1 to 4 ratio. This is a 16.9 full ounces, or fluid ounces. So that's, if I did 4 ounces, then it would be a little less than 1 to 4. But I tend to go a little above the measurements. This does 2 ounces, so I might go a little above. So it ends up being between 4 and 5. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show making a 1 to 4 ratio, having just the coconut rum and Mtn Dew. Again, that's called a MalaDew because it's supposed to use MalaDew. But again, I would not use MalaDew. It's extremely sweet. It has a lot of sugar in it. So for this, again, 1 to 4 ratio is the typical ratio. And that's kind of like a highball. So highball is whatever soda you're putting in there with whatever alcohol you want to put in. So I'm using my own non-sugared coconut rum, and then just measure out 4 ounces of this so I don't go too over that ratio. And that makes a very, very good drink. It's one of my favorites, and it's very, very simple to make. Very good taste. That coconut rum along with the with a Mountain Dew. It's just a really good drink. I highly recommend you doing that. So the next thing, and I mentioned that that's kind of like a highball type recipe. Highball often 7-Up with Seagram's 7 is a 7 and 7, but any whiskey with 7-Up, that'll make it pretty easy highball. I did want to show another drink that is very, very good. My preference for this one is to use an Agricole Rum. But Agricole Rums have harsher taste, more grassy taste, more of that funk that funk taste that some rums will have. Some people will not like that, so you might want to use something with less of a bite. This brand, Kuleana, I've got 3 of them here. Kuleana Hokule, Kuleana Nevea, if I'm pronouncing it right, and the Hui Hui. It says on the back what those words mean. This is actually from a rum made from sugar cane, not from molasses, and it's made in Hawaii from sugar they grow on their spot of land. And it's really, really good rum. It's difficult to find. You probably have to order it online, but or you can order it from the Kuleana website. I'm using the Hui Hui because it's based on their Agricole Rum. Their Agricole Rum I like it better. Hui Hui is not as strong of an Agricole taste, but it's a little milder. But I'm going to use that for this drink because I'm out of the Agricole. And the right Agricole makes a big difference. And this Kuleana, their Agricole, doesn't have that more of a harsh taste that some of the Agricoles have. It's a little smoother, but it still has that funk flavor. So that mixed with, and I got these at Aldi, but you can get other brands. This is a pineapple coconut. I just happened to have one that I left. I had left about 4 or 5 ounces in there, so I'm just going to use that. But that's the full bottle. But a pineapple coconut, just as good just to drink on its own. So these are going to have effectively this has no carbs, and shouldn't have any carbs, of course, in the alcohol. A lot of the rums especially will add sugars, but I don't think that Kuleana does. And that is another really excellent drink. Extremely easy. Can you think of anything easier than putting a little alcohol and a little of the mixer in and you're done? That's one of the easiest drinks to make. So the last thing I want to make, I also had brought some Fresca up because the Fresca based mixed cocktail that we had before. So basically you can use whatever alcohol, vodka or rum with the Fresca and add a little bit of fruit juice or something to it to give it just that little kick of fruit flavor. Should have about the same thing. So you don't have to spend the money on buying the canned cocktails, even though they're very, very, very convenient. So this last one I'm going to do is not exactly low carb, only because I did not have coconut water that is not sweetened. Most coconut waters are sweetened. You can find some coconut water that's not sweetened, and then you would add probably a packet of Splenda or something to it to give it a little bit of sweetness. But what I have is some leftover coconut water that I had purchased some pineapple spears from Sam's Club, and it had those pine spears was in coconut water. It's a sweetened coconut water, so this is very sweet and it's got a pineapple taste to it. So it actually works very, very well. So I just saved the coconut water off of that, and do the same thing, a 1-to-4 ratio, and I think I'll use the Nenea rum for that. I've used different things with this, trying to not drink too much of that, because it's just it has the sugars from what it came out of. But I do recommend, and I just have to find some. My daughter had found some, and I thought I had it here, but I didn't. But you can. I'm pretty sure you can find coconut water that's not sweetened, and then add whatever sweetness you want. Okay, so that's a pineapple coconut water. Happens to be sweetened, but you can get something unsweetened and add your own flavoring to it with the Nenea Culiana rum. And that is excellent. Very, very good. Again, these are easy cocktails. They only take a couple of ingredients. They're made basically like a highball, which you tend to have maybe a 1-to-4 ratio. Highball, usually you put a couple ounces of an alcohol in a highball glass, and then fill the rest up with some carbonated soda, 7-Up or Fresca or Sprite. 7-Up is common for highball. So it's basically that same recipe, but of course using the diet version or the zero version of those alcohols, and adding the rum or the whiskey or alcohol that you prefer, vodka, and you can add some flavorings to it as well. So that's something I thought that you guys would enjoy. I think that those are things that are going to be easy to make in a low carb version, except for finding coconut water without sugar added to it. You might have a problem with that, but other than that, you can find artificially sweetened for most things, and you should be able to do that instead of buying canned cocktails and having your flavor that you tailor to your taste buds. I hope you find this useful, and I'd like you to please like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your comments on content, give me suggestions of things you'd like to see, and hopefully we will be able to go through this journey together, finding ways to have lower carb cocktails that we all can enjoy. Thank you, and have a good day.